Welcome to the Rants and Raves Podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica.
Dana.
Hi, how are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Welcome to the Rants and Raves Podcast. I'm Dana Powell.
I'm Jessica Young. And we
are
here to rant and rave.
Sorry about that, Jessica. I caught you off
No,
guard.
I was holding my face.
I said, are you ready? And you went, huh. So I hit record and then you went, let me just pull up. And I went, 2, 1.
Put you in my throat. Yeah, that was totally on me.
Sorry, Jessica, and I had to take a pause because I was getting a phone call from my baby sister. I'm just going to launch right into, we had a big day at my house. We have a little graduate at my house today. So I'm very excited for him. I was very proud of him. I got to tell you, I've always said this, you know me. I love a kids program. Like I'll go watch a kid's school program anytime, especially if it's just singing or, whatever. I don't care. I love it because they get so excited to do their little performance. And so, do you remember that song? The best day of my life.
Yes.
It was the opening theme song to a show I was on called Clipped on TBS with Ashley Tisdale and stuff. So that was our theme song. Well, that was their graduation song today. And they had a little dance that they did with it. And so we got video and like, y'all know me. I sing in the car all the time. I impersonate people's voices. I sing off key on purpose. I sing harmonies on purpose. And I just watch him like go, he never sings along with me. He's just quiet, but I see him trying not to smile sometimes. And he definitely says when I'm not around, one of his favorite things is that mommy's crazy, sings in the car. So anyway, I never see him singing. Now, once in a while, when he thinks I'm not paying attention to him, like especially if we're on a big freeway, I'll see him back there jamming like this, right? Like not in the rockery, head bobbing, and I don't say anything. I just let him do it. It's so cute. Well, today he was jamming and he had his dance moves and he was emotional. He was really emoting when he sang. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen because I don't get to see that side of him a lot. I'm the goofball mom. He's not going to be goofy in front of the goof,
Yes. Also,
so
a lot of people
really fun.
Are very not that they're shy, but more reserved in front of their family. And then with friends, it's like, what? Or they're at school. I always marvel at seeing like when I would babysit and the parents are like, what? What did you say they did? I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, when I nannied, that happened a lot. And it's funny too. Here's something really interesting. So, we had a lockdown at our school recently. We talked about that a few weeks ago. And that really sped up the process for me of getting my son a phone. I've had reservations about it. He's getting old enough. He's very responsible. We've got parental locks, all of that stuff. But my child, the way he converses, sometimes he's real goofy in a sly, dry way, and it makes me giggle. Sometimes he's flat out ridiculous, just being silly. But for the most part, verbally, he's pretty reserved. He doesn't want to tell you about his feelings. How was your day? Good, good. Did you have a favorite part? Did you have a favorite part of your day? Math. Like, that's all I get. But when he texts, which by the way, getting a text from your child, like that's a wild thing for me because we didn't have phones when we were kids,
Of course.
He is so emotive when he texts, like what he types and his use of punctuation, the way that we do, like when you want to take a dramatic pause, he'll put ... So like the other night, it kills me. So like I have been so blessed recently to work a couple of weeks in a row. So I've been chaotic. And one of those weeks, Dan Tipton was gone. And so I kept asking him, isn't tonight you have to shower? Because we let him do every other night, right? Because he's not a stinky boy yet. He's still little, And so kept saying, "Oh, you remember you got to shower, you got to shower." And he kept going, "Mom, it's Tuesday. It's whatever day it was, And I go, "Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, you're right. You're right." So, about an hour before night, I was watching something on the iPad in my bedroom and he was in the other room and I texted him and went, "Time for a shower." And then I wrote, just kidding, LOL with a little cry laugh emoji,
Uh-huh.
That little boy wrote back, dot, 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 angry face, exclamation point.
Yes. I love it.
And
I
then,
love it.
he ha-ha'd my time to take a shower.
Okay, that kid has got a sense of humor to be
He
rivaled.
really
I love
does.
it.
He texted me the other day. He was answering me about something. I think I told him it was time to start getting ready for, wrapping up
Mm-hmm.
for the evening. And he texted me back, "Are you serious right now?" And then I
What?
hear him walking to my room. He goes, "The sun's still up."
You know what? He's
You
not wrong.
know, where he's heard that too. I mean, who said
Yeah,
his mama?
you.
"Are you serious right now? Is this a joke?"
I love his
It's
rationale. He is not wrong. I mean, A for
Is
effort.
it? Yes, he is extremely rational. Believe me, we get
I
into
love
some
it.
very rational word wars over when he needs to do something. And yes, yeah, and I made that bed as a child. I earned this
That's
child.
so cute.
with the same sort of sass and rationalization as he has. Oh my god, Jessica! Before I'll shut up after this and we can move on.
Yes.
I do think this is the last thing I have to do before I have 24-hour break, and then I'm working. My last day of work is Sunday,
Yep.
so I think after this recording, I have 24 hours to breathe.
24 hours to breathe, lay around in your PJs,
I don't think I'm
have a
gonna get
family movie
dressed.
night. No, why
Yes,
would you?
yes. Yeah, we are doing family movie night this week, and I think because we have a burgeoning teenager,
Mm-hmm. Teen
I think
Wolf.
we're no, ma'am. Although that is good. I think we're doing Indiana Jones. I think we're starting
Ah,
Indiana Jones. Can
has he
you
seen it
imagine
yet?
it? No. Can you imagine seeing that for the first time? I
Yeah,
think he's
because I
gonna love
remember
it.
when I did. He's
I think
going
I think
to
he's gonna love it.
flip.
Because he's my kid. Like, he likes a little creepy. He likes a little excitement. You know
I
what I mean?
I can hear his giggle when Indy is dropped into the cave of
Of
snakes.
snakes. No, he'll
He's
be
gonna
on his
love it.
feet. He'll be on his feet at that point. Yeah.
That movie is fantastic. Everything
Yeah.
about it, the cinematography, great storyline, and the score, the music.
Oh, the score is incredible. So
Come
iconic.
on.
Well, and Dan Tipton and I were actually, because we always try to think of like, give him some options for family movie
Mm-hmm.
night. And we try to think of, sometimes we watch modern things, but we try to think of things we really loved as a kid.
Yeah, of
So, like,
course.
for example, Jessica, the Gremlins is coming to Hollywood Forever Cemetery this summer.
You have to take
We're
him.
going. Yes.
You
Yeah. You guys are
have
welcome to
to.
come. He will love
He's gonna
So,
love it.
I know. So Dan and I were talking about, we were like, is it time? Is it Indiana Jones age? Like, are we
Uh-huh.
there? And he even said, he's like, I think that's one of the best scripts ever written. Like, it's just flawless
Yes.
story. So
I
good.
love it.
I know, me too. Anyway, that's our thing
Uh
for tomorrow.
guess what?
What?
After you see it, you can then show your son when you went as Toke at the Groundlings.
Yes,
Because
you're right.
still one of the greatest, and I mean greatest things I've ever seen in my life. And anytime that movie comes up, I'm like, hold on, please. Yep, here it is. Do you know who that is? They're like, that's the guy from Indiana Jones. I go, as Dana Powell.
Dana
Okay?
Powell. Yeah.
And
I tell you
people
what,
lose their minds.
the Groundlings, it's such an experience anyway. And one of the things that everybody always really looks forward to, because it's so iconic, that on the
Mm-hmm.
walls they have pictures of all the old main stage. So you see
Right?
like Pat Morita, Isn't that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Morietta.
Marita.
Marita, yes. Him, Melissa McCarthy, like everybody, is on those walls. And so it's this really iconic thing. And so when it was my turn, when our group, we were getting ready to take our groundlings photos because they're very
Mm-hmm.
stylized. They're shot a certain
Mm-hmm.
way. It's tradition. And I couldn't wait. So my first 6, I went as Chuck Norris. That's a great one. I mean, I am
Hilarious.
proud. I am very proud of Chuck Norris and Toad. And then because people didn't know who I was, they're like, "But who
Oh
is Chuck
my!
Norris? But who is Toad?" Like they couldn't figure out who I
I
was.
love it.
And then
So crazy.
for my third 6, I was like, I got to do something way different, right? But how do you
Mm-hmm.
top Chuck Norris and Toad?
You
And
don't?
so I just put on a really kind of like low cut, sexy, light blue cardigan and a white blouse, lace blouse underneath, and a short little schoolgirl, skirt with knee socks. And I held a cardboard sign in the middle of my crazy cast. They were all in their themed outfits. And my sign said token virgin. And I had my hair in braids because it was a horror theme. And
Oh
so
my
I
God!
was the token virgin from a horror movie.
You lunatic.
That was it's almost like Halloween, really, if you think about
Yes, I
it.
know.
I really loved it. Anyway, so I'm
That is
excited for my
wild.
24-hour break. Like I told you, if we're
Yes.
gonna record, can we do it now? Because I can feel myself shutting down. I brought myself
Yes.
an emotional support plant. Can I show you?
Yeah.
I know that sounds weird, but I was like, I'm really tired. I want to have this little plant next to me. She's so cute. So I can
Let's
just
see
look
it.
at her. Okay. I know that's insane.
No.
This is her.
Oh, that's so cute.
And her little pot says,
Beautiful.
belief in yourself.
Shut up. Is that a little geranium of
It is a
sorts?
tiny little begonia.
Oh, begonia. Oh, with the
Yes.
little spots. Oh, that's so
Yes.
cute.
And she's
Oh.
got those teeny tiny little angel leaves. Normally I kill every begonia I get. Dan Tipton gets annoyed with me and he's like, why don't you stop trying? But for some reason, oh, sorry, Ollie. For some reason, this little tiny begonia is very, very happy in our home.
Yeah, it looks very thriving.
Yeah.
Unlike this,
Oh, you got a Venus flytrap.
Well, I haven't totally killed it yet. But
Okay.
it's not looking great, and I have it up
Why is
here
it still in that thing?
because to create the humidity.
Okay, but there's no water in it.
Well, it's plenty wet.
Oh, okay. Have you
I
given her
have it.
some sunshine?
Yes, it's sitting right by the window, and I have it here because I've been getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, and you haven't been doing your job.
Well, it might be hard for her little
I
scent
know.
teasers to get out of that tube.
Fine, here we go. Alley-oop.
And then you
Okay.
can double pot her, like put her in a bowl or something with water in the bowl and she can suck
I
up as
know I
she's
saw
thirsty.
you do that.
Uh-huh. She'll be great though.
Well, is everybody happy that's listening that
Oh, she's
they...
not too bad.
Right?
Okay, you're a little bit blurry for me. Are there roots coming out of the bottom?
I see one root. I
Yeah,
need to
she needs
repot.
to be repotted. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, now that we have done our personal potting on the podcast and I have just got dirt literally all over my desk, I bet everyone is wondering how they
How to
can
get
get
a
a
hold of
hold of
us.
us.
You know that's what they were asking themselves.
Oh my God. You guys have 2 weeks coming up to send in all your stuff because I'm going to be in the Great White North in Canada. Yep, I'm still scooping up the dirt, so don't mind me looking down right now. Please send in stuff so we have plenty of stuff fresh at our fingertips when I am back so we can keep going with all of your awesome stuff. We had a slew of things from our live recording that we've been using and a couple of write-ins this last week, so thank you all. Please find us on Instagram and Facebook at the Rants and Raves Podcast. You can also find us on TikTok at the
Mhm.
Rants and Raves P. You can find us on our YouTube channel, the Rants and Raves Podcast. Please subscribe and download episodes if you would like to see the entire insanity unfold in live time. Pre-recorded, but live, you know what I'm saying. You can always email us, the Rants and Raves Podcast at gmail.com, and you can hit the contact button on our website, www.therantsandravespodcast.com.
Thank you for that, Jessica.
You are
Um,
welcome.
okay, well, first of all, before we get started, I just
Mm-hmm.
want to take note because I was like downloading some other files. I'm trying to go back into
Mm-hmm.
YouTube and add subtitles to our episodes. Slowly, those are
Mm-hmm.
getting put up. Um, but what I wanted to say is we're at episode 182.
It's
We are
so crazy.
quickly approaching 200 episodes.
I know. That's
Isn't that
quite a feat.
nuts? I
Yes.
think so. I'm proud of us.
I am too. Even when I'm with people and they're like, "Oh, what's your podcast?" And then they go, "Whoa, you have 174 episodes." I'm like, "Sure do."
Yeah, yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think a
I
lot
just
of
wanted to say that.
podcast shows or anything start out, whether they start out strong or not, or with a lot of gusto behind it, and then for a lot of reasons they just fizzle out. And sometimes just because people are like, I don't want to do this anymore,
Yeah.
or they
It
lose
is a lot of
interest,
work.
or yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But I would say, not to speak for Jessica, but I think we're both on the same tip this way. We love doing this and
Yes.
we come back for the community we've created. We're so
Mm-hmm.
lucky.
Exactly.
So
We love
anyway,
you all so much.
yes. Yes, we do. You're up first for rants, right?
Oh yeah, this is going
Oh
to be
yeah.
short and sweet, and I already have a piggyback on it
Oh
because
my.
this happened just yesterday, and I had to. I just took a cleansing breath.
You
I had
took a
to
cleansing breath.
refrain from going across the street and unleashing the Kraken on a neighbor's gardener. It's not the gardener's fault, but I will be
Mm.
leaving a note for that neighbor.
Uh-oh.
So, from a listener at our live show in Happy Valley, they had a very direct and to the point rant.
Uh-huh.
Trash collection at 4 a.m. Oh,
Is that even legal?
that's
I
what
thought
I
it
was thinking.
I thought it had to be 7, 6 at the earliest,
That's
right?
still so early, but even if you live in a house, if you have not, what do you call it? Been in an apartment and heard a dumpster get picked up, dumped
It's
over, and then
very
slammed back
loud.
down. They
Yes,
just
and
did ours right before we started recording.
the lid slams shut and the can slams on the ground and the trucks
Uh-huh.
are old and creaky and they're loud diesel trucks anyway.
Yes.
It's a very
My
loud experience.
Very. My
Yeah.
favorite part is the city trash that comes by us. They after they're done, then the guy runs, and I saw him do it this morning. I'm not making this up. Runs and shoves it down our driveway, and it rolls like a mobile home on the highway, and then slams into the brick wall at the end of our
Oh.
subterranean parking covering.
Whoa. That would be annoying.
So it's so rude. I hate it. Nobody wants to be up that early. Okay. Even if you unfortunately have to be for work or you have a baby that gets up
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
But my piggyback on this is that my neighbors across the street have, I thought Alan was exaggerating when he told me this a few weeks ago. I guess I just slept through it, or maybe it was when I was out of town. But they have their gardeners coming in starting at 7:30 a.m. sharp. And I'm talking about edge trimmers,
Mm-hmm.
lawnmowers, and leaf blowers. I don't know which of the three is the worst. They're all equal offenders. It is so loud. I sleep like the dead. Okay. You could play a brass trombone in my ear and I ain't waking up. Well, I surely woke up at the sound of those three things at 7:30 a.m.
I'm sure.
and I couldn't go back to sleep. 7:30?
That's a little too much. I mean,
I
honestly,
mean,
you know, I know. Usually, if somebody is at home and tired, it's because they work a
Mm.
later shift or have odd hours or
Mhm.
whatever. And it's like, I even get annoyed at my neighbors' gardeners because they come in the middle of like late morning, early afternoon, and it's never
Mhm.
consistent. And obviously, I do a lot of voiceover recording, I do our podcast recording. I can't record anything when they just show up at their leisure. Like if it was a certain
Right?
time every week, I could plan around it, but they're never at the same time.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
it's
nuts.
weird.
I hate it.
And a door slammer, I will say, I am so lucky I've never lived in a place with a door slammer, but I have always known someone, like right now, I know two people that are dealing with neighbor door slammers. And it's so weird.
Oh.
And one of them I witnessed the other day. I was at my friend Kate's house, and she had told me before that they had uh their caddy
Mm.
corner. Like the
Mhm.
building goes into a corner, and so their door's here and their door's here, and this one's a
Mhm.
slammer. And then there's two other doors, so I'm sure it annoys them too. But like I was like, it
Yeah.
can't be that bad. She's like, Dana, I'm telling you, it is so bad. And it's like for no reason. It's every time they come in and out of the door. And so I was there and it was after work time. And she goes, they're coming. Listen. And she wasn't joking. They slammed that door so hard. It literally had to have taken effort. And the
Yes.
stuff on I don't have the fancy words, but the table that you can have sometimes in your little foyer area to put keys and stuff on right by the
Like
door.
a console.
Yeah, console. And sometimes there's a
Mhm.
mirror or artwork above it. Like they have a little station area like that. Everything
Mhm.
shook. Everything shook.
Yep.
That nobody needs to slam a door that hard. Like
My
it's
old
just not
neighbor did that.
necessary.
I had to
And
leave a note on their door.
well, and she said that they've gotten to the point where they will open and slam their door after the neighbor because they've been like, please don't slam the door. Like people have said stuff to them and they don't care.
Mhm.
And so now it's just a battle where all the neighbors will all slam their door at them or go, not necessary, or, And
A
it,
war of being aggressively passive aggressive.
yes, yes. But it's like, I know other people who had that one
Yes.
neighbor that everyone in the courtyard hated because they were
Yeah.
door slammers. And they also were sometimes in this friend's apartment, it's not capable, but this other friend I have, they had screen doors so that they could leave their doors open in the summer. And they
Yes.
would slam that screen door and then they would turn their TV on full volume and the
Nope.
entire apartment complex could hear their TV.
Mm-mm.
I
Nope.
mean, it's so inconsiderate. If you live in a shared space, an apartment building, a condo, something like that with other people, you have to be aware of other people's senses. You cannot act like you live in a field in Missouri. You know?
I know. I told you, I don't know if I did ever tell you this. One of the neighbors years ago here, in the middle of the night, I woke up hearing a woman screaming help
Uh-huh.
over and
Oh, I
over
remember you
again.
saying this. Yes.
And the TV was blaring, and I mean blaring to the point where I heard it blasting in my bedroom in an
Mhm.
apartment across the way from them. I called the police. They
Mhm.
came. They kept pounding on the door. No one answered. And I said, she's screaming for help. I don't think she can get up. I don't know what's wrong with her. Well, she was bedridden and couldn't get out of bed. The husband was home and didn't hear her and didn't hear the cops beating on the door. So they pulled the window panes out and boosted one of the officers, or one of the, I think the fire department showed up too, pushed the smallest guy through the window into their home. I heard the whole thing and I was like, what?
That's
Anyways, didn't mean to
crazy.
get dark on that. Spoiler alert, a week later, the coroner was here taking her body out of the apartment and she was dead. Still don't
She
know how
passed
or what
away?
happened. Mm-hmm.
Whoa. And you never found out why she was wanting help?
Nope. And trust me, I tried to find out, but I didn't even know their name. I didn't even know how to look up her name.
Yeah, because that's another weird thing about LA. Some neighborhoods are very close with their neighbors. Most are
Mm-hmm.
not. Most don't know their
Mm-mm.
neighbors. I only know the people directly around me. Now I'm on
Yep.
waving terms with some of the people down the
Sure.
road, but I
Yep.
don't know them. And that, back
No.
home, you always knew your neighbor's business. Everybody knew their
Yep.
neighbor's business, but out here it's
Right.
not like that.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's crazy, man.
Yep.
Well, we certainly made a meal out of that snack, didn't we?
Sure did.
All right, I'll move on to mine. This is also from our live show.
Yes.
Shut up.
You already
I just
touched on it.
talked
I
on.
know.
I just talked
That's
about it. Why
I
didn't you
know.
stop me?
Because I was laughing and I'm like, all right, she's going into her rant, but you can just
Hilarious. Well,
you can
I
add
already
on
did.
this little
Let me
tidbit.
let me tell you guys what my rant was from a listener. When people slam doors at work, are you a teenager? Do you pay bills here? No. Be mature. Well, I guess I hit that. Don't be. It's clearly it's clearly something that bothers people. So you need to
Yes.
be aware because it bothers a lot of people, obviously. And
Yep.
and being there witnessing that, I was like, yeah, if I lived here, boy, I'd be marching over there going, "Do you have a problem?" Like
Yep.
so, let's be mindful of our door slamming. I have to
It's
admit, to call
uh-huh.
myself out a little bit, I used to apparently slam car doors too hard because sometimes my dad would say,
Mm.
"You don't need to break the car to get the door shut." And I think Dan's complained a couple of times. Like, I don't know why that has
Like
been a thing for me, but I have to be aware of it. So, well, are you ready for a cleansing breath?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. And I will just say this. I hate door slamming. And like I said, I did have to leave a note for my neighbor because first of all, it would scare the shit out of me. It would happen. And every time it would put me into such panic. It also just
Yes.
annoyed me, whether I was working, whether we were recording. Maybe I was just trying to have a quiet moment to myself.
Mhm.
But just save that door slamming for something real serious. Again, I don't agree with it in general,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
have
yeah.
been known to slam a door hard enough to shake my entire building in the past due to a former roommate.
Mm.
And when I tell you that I slammed the door hard enough that I shook all 12 units, I did. Um, and I'm not proud of that, but it's like that was a last resort after you've begged, pleaded, yelled, asked nicely, and everything in between. And then it's just like, "Rah!" Hulk smash. And all I knew
Mhm.
to do was slam the door with all of my might. Not
Mhm.
proud of it. Corrections corner for myself.
Right.
But
We weren't
let's not slam the
were you a
doors.
door slammer as a kid?
No. First of
Me
all, my
either. We
parents
weren't.
would have lost their minds if I did that kind of crap. But no, that
Thank
was
you. That was not an option in my home.
absolutely not.
My
And my
dad told
parents
me
didn't
one
do it
time.
either.
I remember one time I tried to close the door a little harder, but I wanted to keep it on that line where I could deny it. There was some
Yep.
plausible
Oh,
deniability where
yeah.
I was like, where I
Oh,
could be
yeah.
like, I wasn't trying to slam, but I was. Uh, my dad told
Yes.
me if I ever hear that door close even a little hard again, I'll take it right off the hinges and you won't have a bedroom door anymore.
Oh,
I
Gary.
never even attempted to plausibly deny because I didn't get close to slamming a door.
You put on kid gloves and made sure to close it with your fingers still in it so that
Oh,
it barely latched.
like closed it on my finger and then slid my finger out. Like, yeah, no, there was no way I was going to
Oh
go
my
without a bedroom
God.
door.
Absolutely not. That is such an old school dad.
Mhm.
Right? I know a few
That's,
dads that have said that. Or why is your door closed? Then whether it was a boy or a girl, friends in there, they're like, we don't keep the doors closed in this
oh no.
house
Mm-mm. We weren't
unless
allowed
you're
to have people in
changing.
our room. Yes.
Uh-huh.
If we were alone, we could close the door if we wanted. I
Yeah, yeah,
generally didn't because they weren't normally really that into my business.
yeah.
But if we had a friend over, boy or girl, it was doors open.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's funny. My kid is not really. He'll
Amazing.
ask me for privacy in the TV room, but like he
Uh-huh.
doesn't lock himself in his room. He hangs out in our open space, and
Right?
I'm kind of grateful. I'm like, are we going to turn a corner where that changes? We might.
Also, it's
We
sweet
might.
and innocent because he's still young enough that when he asks for privacy, it's just more like, please be quiet, so that
Yeah.
he can just have fun
Zone
playing
out.
games or watching a show and not hearing adults talk about stuff that he is not
Which I
interested.
totally get, because one day
Yes.
he turned to me and Dan Tipton was like, "Can I have privacy, please?" And we realized we had been standing there for 10 minutes talking while he was trying to watch something. And I was like, yeah, that would annoy me too.
Right? Oh, it's safer than asking your parents to be quiet. Am I right?
Lord have mercy, I would have never. I wouldn't have
Can
had
you
a mouth
imagine?
left. They would have cut the bottom half of my face off of my body. I would have never been allowed to speak again.
Why so serious?
I mean, we
Oh,
grew up in a different time. Oh boy.
yeah.
Whew, even thinking about that, I just literally took an extra breath before we even
I
did our cleansing
I
breath.
know. I know.
I'll end that thought with this. It is interesting that now I listen to Mr. Chaz, or I follow him on Instagram. He's great if you have kids
Mhm.
or if you work with kids or whatever. He's wonderful. And he
Mhm.
frequently talks about how the expectations that we had on children are things that we adults don't even have control over, but we're forcing a child to do it even when we can't, like managing our
Yep.
own emotions. Like he did one example
Okay.
where a spouse called the other spouse and said, "I have had it. I am at my wits' end. I told him to calm down, to not blah, 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 blah." And he just still kept getting upset. Blah, blah. And the wife said, "I do understand what you're saying, but you're calling me to vent your emotions. So where is he supposed to vent his?" And it was like,
Mhm.
what a light bulb moment. We ask children to
Yeah.
do things that we ourselves are not capable of, like be quiet. That's hard for
Be
me.
quiet. Calm your body. I hear that a lot. Calm
Uh-huh.
your body.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Don't be weird. We've had discussions about that. Weird is
Mhm.
good. Let them be weird.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, that deserves a cleansing breath.
It sure
Let's
does.
this is a staple of our show. We like to like get out our angsty feelings. Sometimes they're serious, sometimes they're not. Get it all out, take a deep breath in, blow all of that tension out of our bodies, spend the rest of the show filling up usually with some funnies, some kindness, some good news, some charity organizations we can support, ways to bring them into our community. So, if you can
Mhm.
scream it out, I will never stop encouraging that. just don't just don't hurt your throat, okay? Don't hurt your throat. But if
Do
you can't,
not.
still just take a minute wherever you are to take this deep breath with us. It'll feel good, I promise.
Yes.
All right, take a deep breath in and ah, that felt good. I woke up 3
Very
times in the
nice.
middle of the night last night. I think cuz I was like
Oh.
getting nervous and emotional about graduation, and then also work coming up, and we've both been so busy, and I know you're leaving town. Like, I think I literally woke myself out of a sleep 3 times
Yeah,
last night because I was just like,
I'm sure.
why am I awake? Why am I awake right now? Is there an earthquake coming? Do I have dog feelers? What's happening? Why am I awake?
Amazing.
All right, you're up first for corner.
Amazing.
Yes?
Yep. This is a what the what?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
And when Dana sent me this gem, all I could hear in my mind was a song that I don't totally know the words for, but do you remember it was like bling bling every time I turn around the city, bling bling, the rebel bling bling. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's
Hmm.
like a bad rap song from the 2000s.
I don't think
Every
so,
time
but
I
it
turn around your city, bling bling.
I don't think so. It seems like it would be something I should know, like that would have been in my repertoire of listening. I'm wondering if it's the cover of it that I just don't recognize.
That is 100% possible. I won't even be angry at that. We know how bad my renditions are, and it's not a good song. So I'm not upset that it wasn't it. This is not one where my eyes are going to pop out and my eyebrows are going to ask you why you don't know what that is.
Okay. Yeah.
This is from our favorite resident contributor, Spooky, from Oddity Central. A 22-year-old man from Wisconsin who started experiencing coffee. Here we go again with my missteps. Coughing and heavy wheezing after an epileptic seizure was shocked to find out.
Serious stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
That his silver grills with a Z had become stuck in one of his lungs.
In
a case study,
his lungs, Jessica.
I can feel it. Okay. You know, when you ever like sometimes take a breath and you have that pinch or a tweak and you're like, oh God, is that my heart? But it's just like a growing pain or a muscle twitch. Whoo boy. A case study recently published in the Curious, spelled Cureus, Curious, I don't know, medical journal, tells the story of an unnamed 22-year-old man who, after recovering from an epileptic seizure, started experiencing severe coughing and heavy wheezing. Can every article stop repeating the title and then the same thing? Because I didn't even copy the title because it was that. So that would have been 3 times I repeat myself.
I'm sorry.
He immediately, no, I'm mad at the authors. This is every article.
I know.
He immediately thought medical assistants and x-ray scans revealed that he had something lodged in the right main stem bronchus, an airway to his lung. This 4-centimeter long mass looked like dentures, and the man told doctors that he was wearing silver-plated grills when he had the seizure and couldn't find them when he recovered.
Like, isn't that something you mentioned to someone? I think I swallowed my grills.
It's also why you don't wear stuff like that.
In your sleep. Especially in your sleep. You don't even chew gum in your sleep, dude.
And dentures have adhesive for a reason. So they can't just slide on down or out.
Yes.
The patient was scheduled for a bronchoscopy. That can't be fun. That just hurt my lung thinking about it. To have the object removed. A bronchoscope was inserted down the airway to dislodge the dental accessory. The
Which
patient
has many purposes, Jessica, because it's teeth. So that ain't just sliding out smoothly.
No. It's like a barbed fishing hook. The patient experienced bronchospasm, where muscles in the lung airway tighten from the operation, and was given steroid treatment before being discharged. Had the silver-plated grills gone down the other pipe, they would have passed through the esophagus and into the stomach before being excreted. But this way, the dentures became stuck in one of his lung airways. What, he was going to crap it out like a dog?
That would have been painful, too. I can't. That story's insane. That story's insane to me.
Yes.
Well, I got another one for you.
Okay, let's hear it. What's your corner?
It's an oh wow corner. Okay.
And what's it about?
Well, this is from Oddity Central, written by Spooky. I wonder if we could get jobs at Oddity Central, if they need more Spookies.
I know we could.
Excuse me. Okay, well, this is You Are Not the Father, but are you ready for this? A Colombian doctor has been ordered by a court of...
Well, I just ruined it.
Well, I can edit it.
Forget it. I was trying to play That's Just My Baby Daddy, and I ruined it.
It's just my baby dad. That's just my baby daddy. That's just my baby daddy. That's just my baby daddy. He is just my baby dad. I know that song.
That's a lot better than the shenanigans I just tried to pull. I had it queued up and everything, and then it starts with a dude in a shower cap eating a bag of potato chips, talking to his TV from the couch. What an epic fail.
Out of context, you sound so angry about that song. Not the fact that you miss being able to play it.
Do not count on me to insert your audio things at the proper time ever. Okay. I think that was just made painfully clear.
Well, it's so
Dana,
funny because
please take it away.
I've done that a couple of times too. And the recording studio that we use has the ability for us to upload a soundbite and play it while we're recording. I don't know why we don't just do that. Anyway,
Amazing.
Okay, here we go. He is just my baby dad.
Daddy.
A Colombian doctor has been ordered by a court of law to financially support a patient's baby until it turns 18, after the patient ended up conceiving the baby despite undergoing a vasectomy. Diego Naranjo, a doctor from Medellin, Colombia, will have to pay millions of pesos to support one of his patients' babies after he assured the man that the vasectomy he had performed had been successful and he no longer needed to use other means of contraception. However, the man ended up leaving his wife pregnant and having an unplanned baby. Subsequent sperm tests showed that the vasectomy had in fact not been successful. And the parents of the parents of the baby sued the doctor, claiming that his mistake had had serious implications, both financial and emotional. A judge has now ruled that the doctor must support the baby until it turns 18 years old. As a result of this unexpected conclusion, the patient was not recommended to continue using contraceptive methods to avoid the risk of pregnancy. The recent court ruling read, when it was proven that the parents did not want to procreate more children, it was concluded that there was an impact on their life projects that had repercussions in the immaterial field, especially considering the precarious economic situation of the father, who currently cannot work due to their health problems. The baby's father suffers from debilitating condition called severe bilateral hearing loss, which prevents him from working. He experiences frequent dizziness and vomiting and must wear a hearing aid in order to hear properly. The condition prevented the man from finding employment, so the judge ruled that the doctor responsible for the conception of the baby must be held responsible. According to the recent court ruling, Dr. Naranjo will have to pay the patient's family 80 current minimum wages or 92 million pesos, so $20,000, 300 in moral damages, $13,200 in legal fees, and $31,500 as child support. Interestingly, the botched vasectomy was performed in 2012, and the patient's baby, a girl, was born the following year. She's currently 10 years old, so the doctor only has 8 more years of financial support. It's unclear why the parents took so long to take legal action against the doctor. That's kind of weird. I wonder if they didn't realize they could, though. I don't know that it would be my first thought to go, I'm going after that doctor. I would just be like, how are we going to take care of this baby? So they may have just been talking to someone who was like, hey, you can get some damages from that. Yeah. That's sad. That's hard because a baby is such a blessing. A baby is such a blessing unless it's not.
When you want it. Exactly.
Yes, that family couldn't support another baby.
Also, they were being responsible by him having a vasectomy because they knew that that was a decision that they had come to. Yes. So that makes me very upset. That opens a whole slew of things. But I'm not going to go there. I'm going to focus on one thing that I know is going to probably put you over the edge. It's maybe one of the most LA things I could say. But I guess you never watched the show Entourage.
No, I didn't.
Because of the way that you pronounced the city and you said Medellin. Oh. It's Medellin.
Medellin. Did it take place?
It was the name.
Did Entourage take place
in... It was the name of a movie that the lead was in. Medellin. And it was a movie shot in Colombia. That is so random. That's so kind of a
I bet a lot of people know. I'm sure a lot of people know because that was a very popular show. Yes. Can I be honest why I never watched it?
Yeah.
It felt so broy to me. I was like,
oh, it is. It is.
There's no medieval knights in this. There's no swords.
No.
There's no
I really
ghosts.
watched it for the Kevin Dillon gold.
Oh, okay.
He was like the older one of the group and kind of like the has-been who was still trying to act. I mean, it was not my favorite show, but I did admittedly kind of hate watch it from time to time.
Well, it certainly sounds fancier the way you said it.
Oh my God.
Medlin sounds a little bit like, it's a mediocre city.
It's okay.
It's a mid-tier city.
Hilarious. Trust me, I wouldn't have known it. My attempted pronunciation of most things, especially in another language, is nothing to be proud of. Okay.
Well, the way I figure it right now, like everybody gets crap for over how they pronounce things. Everybody pronounces things differently, even in different parts of your own country. So the way I operate with it on the show is I just confidently say whatever comes out of my mouth. And I know that anyone who doesn't know is just like, oh, she sounds like she knew what she was doing. And then anyone who does know, they're just the few that live in Medlin. So it doesn't matter.
Hilarious.
You like my God. Justification for my own ignorance?
I absolutely do.
Are we ready to move on to the best part of our show?
Yes. Let's rave it up.
Part. Yeah. Let's rave it up. You're up first for rave.
This is brushmabel.com. Mabel crafts bamboo toothbrushes that make excellent plastic alternatives. Each toothbrush handle is... I love this. Everything about this company. I haven't thought of that
because I have bamboo utensils that I carry with me, and I had bamboo straws for a while and never crossed my mind bamboo toothbrush. That's smart.
Because it's sustainable, and as we know, bamboo literally grows like weeds.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's tough.
It's one of the quickest things. Yes. Each toothbrush handle is fully biodegradable and made from renewable bamboo, while the bristles are crafted from non-toxic, BPA-free nylon that can be plucked out and recycled at certain facilities at the end of its useful life. On top of helping to solve our plastic crisis, this is what I love, in addition to being eco-friendly and sustainable, Mabel donates a toothbrush to a child in America for every toothbrush sold. Unlike other companies that give back, Mabel takes it a step further by going into schools to teach kids about making sustainable decisions and maintaining proper personal hygiene. Love it.
Love it.
Some kids aren't getting that at home, sadly. So they're an incredible company. Again, we love anything that gives back, but I also really love things like this because everybody needs toothbrushes. They also sell cotton swabs and floss. So everything they sell is something that is a necessity to personal hygiene and grooming.
And sustainably sourced. I love it.
Yes. So go check out their site. I love it. Floss like a boss. And they have a refillable floss container again, so you're not throwing out that plastic every single time. They have an 8-pack bamboo toothbrushes for you and your crew. An 8-pack for $22.99. And again, I know that may seem like, oh, that's expensive. I don't know if you've bought a toothbrush lately. They're about $8 each if you get an Oral-B or a Colgate one from CVS.
Absolutely.
So it's a great company. They have all kinds of stuff to check out. And again, I love their giving back and their outreach and education going into schools. It's an amazing company. They have Buy, Give, Teach. And it says, for every toothbrush you buy, we use a portion of the profits to fund our Buy, Give, Teach program, which helps donate toothbrushes to children and youth, as well as helping to support community, sustainability programs, and organizations. We focus on supporting schools, educators, and organizations that focus on educating children and adults on sustainability. Choosing Mabel helps support education programs that teach people how to live more sustainably and helps extend your impact beyond your own household. I also think that's a huge lesson, the greater picture. Yes. You can also see a list to all of the organizations that work with them. One is Baby to Baby. That's a huge organization that's incredible. We've profiled that on the show before. Lots of elementary schools, Saving the Blue, the ocean conservation and education,
Love that.
libraries, multiple elementary and middle schools. Check them out. A fantastic company with a great cause.
I love that.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. My rave today also has to do with sustainability. So before I go into that, you might be like, wow, you guys have really been harping on this a lot lately. We have, because there are massive wildfires in Canada that are making New York City look like it's sunset all day long.
Yeah.
And I was saying yesterday, I was reminding, I think you, Jessica, that we had blizzards in California this year. So usually the fires are the problem in California and the blizzards are the problem in New York. Well, we've all had it all this year. So we all need to start thinking about living sustainably and healing our planet. Okay?
Totally. And really quick, since you mentioned that, I saw this morning, and I always love this, and I love I don't want to call it a brotherhood because there's also female firefighters these days, but I love that community of first responders, whether it's healthcare, firefighters, police officers, and whatnot. Firefighters go around the globe to help each other. And just this morning, 200 firefighters from South Africa landed in Canada to help with the fight against these fires. So that always warms my heart. Thank you to everyone that's helping with that. And again, the global community. That's why people need to think on a bigger level outside of themselves in their own household.
That's right. And if you remember, we often have wildfires out here, so we talk about that a lot. So the things that we know on a regular basis that they need in times like this are socks. People forget they need socks. They don't want to get trench foot.
Water.
All kinds of socks and water are the biggest things. So if you want to know a way to help, I guarantee you there's an organization that's providing socks and water, or a place you can ship socks and water. Just keep that in mind while this is happening. I hate that we have to even share that information, or that we have that knowledge, because it happens so frequently out here, but it is what it is. So my rave today is actually allbirds.com. Allbirds is a sustainable shoe brand turning unconventional materials into high quality kicks. Cool. It's really cool. When I went to the webpage for the first time, one pair of shoes, I'm pretty sure it said was made of eucalyptus and lavender fibers.
Two of your favorite things.
Yes, I know. You don't like either one, do you?
I have grown to love lavender. Eucalyptus, I'm on the fence.
Not so much, from using everything from castor bean oil and recycled bottles to superfine merino wool and renewable sugar cane, this company finds innovative ways to reduce its impact. In addition to fostering environmentally friendly practices in the shoemaking process, Allbirds donates its gently used shoes to Soles for Souls. Let me spell that for you. SOLES, the number 4, SOULS. Like shoe soles for your heart soles. A nonprofit that gives shoes to those who need them most and helps micro entrepreneurs provide for their families. In turn, this helps to keep the items out of landfills and empowers individuals to rise out of poverty by selling the gently used shoes. I love that. So many different ways that they're helping people from one process. So again, I've heard of Allbirds for a long time. I'm pretty sure they advertise on podcasts a lot. I think that's why I've heard of them. But anyway, I love that all of their materials are sustainably sourced. But then, so that's Allbirds, ALLbirds.com. But then also check out the charity that they send their gently used shoes to is solesforsouls.org. So it's kind of a two-for rave there. So thank you, Allbirds, for doing that, because also out here in Los Angeles in particular, we have a very, very horrific homeless problem. And I can't tell you, every single day I see someone without shoes. Multiple someone.
It's awful.
It's awful. They just, they need, that's a basic need. People need
Yes.
shoes. Okay. So
It's
anyway,
not a
again,
necessity. I mean, it's.
it,
I can't believe I just said it's not a necessity,
it
y'all.
is a
I
necessity. Yes.
Yes, it's not a luxury. It's a necessity.
You're running on
Oh
fumes. You're
boy.
running on fumes. Just got to make it to Monday, Jessica.
Well, I will tell you one thing I do remember, especially talking about sustainability, and it blew my mind that you sent to me this week. First of all, I'm so into all of these people from like young teenagers to people in their 70s that are coming up with new ways. Like we've talked about the flip-flops being made from some type of sea algae, things like that.
Yes,
Dana
yes.
sent me a freaking company of a couple of guys in Mexico that are turning cactus pulp into leather. And it is, okay, my favorite color is
Gorgeous.
green, and I
Yes.
love me some green leather. And Dana even said, look at the green couch.
It
Incredible.
was stunning. Their stuff, I didn't even look at the prices because I was like, I probably can't afford this. But I have to tell you, it's plant sourced. It is cactus. And these two guys
It's
found a way to
amazing.
make it into leather. And it's stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Yep.
The little catch
And I bet super
purses.
durable.
Oh, I'm sure. Cactus
Yep.
is amazing, man. Like I watched a whole video on how to take paddle cactus, which we just see on the side of the highway everywhere here.
Right?
But if you get stranded out in nature and that's the only thing, how to cook it, how to get water from it. I mean, it's amazing. Cactus is an amazing plant. You know I love
Treat
plants
yourself
anyway.
to a nopales salad.
Oh, okay.
When you go to Vallarta. Seriously, they have nopales
I'm sure they have
as a
there.
salad.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my
Some
friends
people
is
really
from
love
El
it.
Salvador, and she introduced me to that years ago. I'm like, what is this delicious salad? She's like, nopales. I'm like, I don't know what that is. She's like, it's cactus. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's delicious.
It's and it's tough plant. Oh, it's a tough plant. I just think it's so cool. You don't have to water
Super
it.
survivor.
Like, yeah, I don't know. But you know me.
Love it.
I mean, I have an emotional support plant sitting beside me. So, you know, I love me some. I literally carried that from over there.
I love it.
So I could look at it while we record.
I think it's cute.
Oh, Jessica. I think that's
Dana.
our show.
I think it is.
I love you to bits and pieces. I'm not going to see
Same,
you for a
my
hot
friend.
minute, and it makes
I
me sad.
know.
But I want you to have the best time.
Thank you. I actually have a little surprise that I still haven't seen you since I've been back from Cambria. One is a little something for you, but I also, there is a store that I love that every year I go in and get another bird to add to my collection. They're seed pod birds.
Oh, cute.
They are made out of different pods and painted, and I'm obsessed. And literally, like for years, every time I go and get a new one and add to my collection, well, I got one for Henry because guess what it is?
What?
A cassowary. His
he
favorite
loves
prehistoric
a cassowary bird. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. He might be like, why did she get me this weird thing? I mean, it's not really a toy that you can play with.
Oh, that's a cassowary. Yeah. Yeah, because we have one at the LA Zoo, so he sees it all the time.
It's so
too.
crazy. Does it make that horrific noise?
No, I've never heard it make any noise, but it is aggressively at the fence at you. I've never seen it like lunge at anybody or anything. I mean, they keep it, you know, it can't get you.
Yeah.
But like, it seems pretty chill, but it's just looks aggressive, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, it is. I've heard that thing growl.
I wouldn't walk in there with it. I'll tell you that. And I think that bone thing they have on the top of their head can kill you too. I think like it can crush your bones.
Yes.
Yeah.
You wouldn't walk in there like Phil Bronson did. Sharon Stone's ex-boyfriend decided to remove his shoes and socks and just get to know the Gila monster that he was in a enclosed room with.
No. Mm-mm.
Remember? Well, and it attacked him.
Yeah. Well, there was just a kid in, was it Egypt? That he was drunk and they think maybe having some kind of, you know, mental breakdown. He jumped in a lion's cage and there's video of it, like an outdoor lion's enclosure at a zoo.
Dear
And
God.
they were trying to figure out they eventually tranquilized the lion and got him out of there. So the lion wasn't hurt. But also the lion didn't go after him. It was actually interesting to watch the video because to me, I felt like the lion was looking around going, is this a mirage? Are you guys seeing this? Is this guy crazy?
Right.
Like, what is he doing in here? I could murder him in half a second. Like, the lion looked confused.
I'm sure. Yeah, they only have 4 retaining walls to cross before you can get in. Oh my God.
I mean,
I can't.
Part of me is like, I don't know, is that Darwin's selection if we just let that kid figure it out?
Like the kids in San Francisco that did climb 3 sets of retaining walls to get in the tiger enclosure and then were mauled to death.
Yes. See, I don't want anybody to die, but I mean, that's not a smart, you fuck around, you gonna find out.
Okay, there's walls and fences for good reason.
They're not just for pretties. Yeah.
No.
Anyway. Oh, Jessica, I hope you have such a great trip.
Thank you.
Is there anything?
Sadly, I'm heading into the eye of the storm, literally.
I know. But you're going to be with family. You'll have a good time.
Yes.
And I'm sure we'll see more.
Worried about those fires.
I know it. Make sure you guys have N95s if you need them. They say that does help. They are saying that does help. They're advising people in New York to be wearing them.
Absolutely.
Because it's very, very hard on your lungs. It's very bad.
Yes.
So travel safely. I will miss you immensely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will miss you too.
But I don't think we're going to have a drop in episodes just for audience purposes. I think we're set. I think we're set to not have any gaps. So that's a good thing.
We are. Indeed.
Do you have anything you need to share before you leave the country? Any confessions you need to make to our government? Anything like that?
Nope. My bathroom is clear of boxes and documents, so all good.
Well, that makes one of you between you and Mar-a-Lago. Okay. I do have a little point to ponder. It was just an interesting fact to me because I don't have anything else to report. I'm not really watching it. I've been busy, and now I'm going to go hang up graduation sparklies. For but I do have this interesting fact I found. Maybe you knew this, Jessica. But we all, what we all do know is that I hate tomatoes. Like, we know that. I can't stand them. So this is a tomato-related thing to think about. And it is something you might want to think about. While we've all heard that fruits and vegetables are packed with nutrients, you probably weren't aware that, I'm going to add my own personal flavor on this, nasty tomatoes also contain nicotine.
What?
In fact, studies have
shown... Is
that
why I love tomatoes?
I mean, that's what I was wondering.
I love them. I eat them daily.
In fact, studies have shown that eating nicotine-rich things like tomatoes and peppers can actually help reduce your chances of getting Parkinson's disease. I mean, that kind of blew my mind. Now, I have gotten... I read a lot of things this is from Best Life online. I don't really know a ton about them, but generally speaking, they're pretty reliable in their research. And this is just a cute little list of wow facts that I was kind of perusing. So if anybody knows different, feel free to give us a corrections corner. But I was like, that is crazy. Yeah, it naturally occurs in tomatoes and peppers.
Did not know that. I'm telling Alan right now.
Right? There you go, people. If you smoked in the 90s and want to get your nicotine on, gobble up a veggie omelet. There you go. You're welcome, God. Dr. Dana, at your service. All right, we'll be back next week.
We will. Love ya.
Love you, Jessica. Bye.
Bye-bye.